Like me turning on the camera and suddenly you were Chinese. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I'd love to know how it happened, but I'd be like, oh, okay. So, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I swear you had a McDonald's coffee last time we started.
Nah, so I keep the cup.
Oh, you're saving the planet.
Yeah, and all that shit. And I refill it with my own coffee, and then I just use it. It's just easier, so I don't have to do any washing up, because that makes sense, doesn't it? Really?
You're so cheap, lazy.
Well, no, it's good because like I'll game, and then I'm like, oh, rather than piling in cups or anything, we'll put them in the dishwasher. I just whack that in the recycling bin on the way in. Done. Ready for tomorrow's. I might even keep it for tomorrow.
Fair dues.
Genuinely, I go until it starts going a bit moldy. Not moldy. Like it goes a bit soggy. It's weird. They don't last forever, obviously, but yeah.
It's coming from a guy that's drunk his own piss.
Yeah, I've done that a few times. I've done that a few times.
Have you? Yeah. So during this past week, since the last podcast, have you been writing down notes in your phone of things you want to talk about?
I have actually.
Fucking same.
In fact, mate, it's good. It's good because like I spoke to you, and it's like, yes, I fucking do this. Yeah, but I've got a few. Not a lot, to be fair.
How many notes have you got? Like how many things to bring up?
About 7.
I got 14.
Oh fucking hell! You just can't stop thinking about you, can you?
Well, I just can't stop. It's just like something will come up, and I'll be like, oh, I wonder what Dean thinks of that.
To be fair, I have been busy. Like I've spoke to you. Like my old man's not very well at the moment. He's in hospital, so I've been on other things regarding to any other subjects apart from fucking work,
right?
And stuff like that. So yeah, it's not really for me this week. Not really much been going on, really, apart from the obvious. But yeah, it's Queen's funeral tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, last podcast we recorded, she had literally just died 20 minutes before, and now it's like the funeral tomorrow.
Funeral tomorrow, and we were discussing. I know it sounds harsh, but are we gonna have a day off? And there we are. We got a day off, babe. But I know. The worst thing was, like, it's tomorrow. Everything's closed, from what I know.
I'm super bummed about that because
like it's not like a normal bank holiday.
No. And I wanted to go and buy a motorbike for my son because he done his CBT the other day, and he wants to go and get a motorbike. And I was like, oh, everywhere's closed, so we can't do fuck all. But I know the day off is for a reason. It's so that we can sit and like think about the Queen and watch the funeral.
I'm sitting in my house all fucking
I don't want to be doing that all day. I'm going to be playing World of Warcraft. I'm not going to lie. I'll be playing WoW and editing this.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
So
to be fair, if I'm not up to much, I'll come join you to give you a bit of company.
You should come to Oxford. You're down? I'm down for that.
So road trip. I'll ask because I wanted to play golf tomorrow. But everything's even they're fucking closed.
Come to Oxford. Come chill with me, man. We'll literally vibe. I'll go and get some beers and we'll vibe. So last podcast we had a brief conversation about the army and drugs. And my friend said to me, who's in the military, he was like, probably shouldn't bring that up. So military and drugs. Any stories?
Military and drugs. Well, firstly, I'd like to start off a little bit off subject. Thank you, everyone that's watched the first episode so far. And thank you for the 7 subscribers as well. So big thumbs up to that, you fucking legends.
I know.
But going back onto the subject that you just said, yeah, it is a bit of a weird subject. Yeah, but I think it changes all the time.
I was only joking. It was just because someone said don't bring it up. So I was like, right, I'm fucking bringing it up. And that's the way it's going to be. If anyone in the comments like, you can't say that, that's going to be our next fucking subject. Why can't we talk about that?
How about we hold that one for the next one? And if anyone wants us to talk about the drugs in the army and stuff, how it works, it's probably not. It's probably not that bad. It's not even that crazy. I don't think we can go into it in too much depth, to be fair, because it's pretty. So yeah,
I looked into what you can and can't talk about when it comes to the military and drugs and stuff. And as long as you're not condoning it, and as long as you're not telling people how to do it, like it's not like a tutorial, YouTube, you can basically talk about anything. There are obviously some like red flag words you can't say. But essentially it's pretty pretty open. But I think maybe talking about the military and drugs is probably a bad shout, to be fair. I only brought it up as a joke. But what I want to say to you,
maybe on the next one. Maybe
if we get enough people asking us to do it
tomorrow.
Yeah, it's probably not a good shout.
Yeah, we'll do that on the next one. And if you want us to talk about that on the next one, we will, because I don't give a fuck.
I think that's the way we need to be. But I want to know, on your list, pick something at random from your list you want to talk about.
Okay, I've got a bone to pick with you.
Oh, okay.
I hate the fact that you send me phone pictures via like normal messenger, not on WhatsApp. So like when I load up, like you have your messages, your normal messages. So you send me like, was it MMS or something like that?
Yeah.
And then there's WhatsApp. I normally send all my pictures or whatever on WhatsApp or like Discord or something like that. But you send them in just normal text messages as a picture message, and I'm just like, why are you sending me in a picture message? Just send me on WhatsApp, because I think you get charged sending picture messages,
and so do you to receive them.
And no, and I'm like, I think I get charged receiving this, and I'm like, stop sending me pictures.
But you forget.
I think you do.
Yeah,
I think you genuinely do get charged for it.
You do, but I drive a Mercedes Benz, so I'm not bothered.
I don't even have a car.
The fact I can send you a picture,
I share a car,
and it costs you, I think, 50p. It just makes me laugh.
It
is. It's really funny. I might just start sending you pictures of 50p coins.
Free. Yeah, so it was literally after the last podcast. I think you sent me what your screen looked like, how you split it up for the podcast.
Yeah.
And you sent it me on I saw the message pop up, and I thought, why is he sending it me in fucking on a text message? Just send it me on WhatsApp, mate. Or even on Instagram.
The real question here.
I just thought I got to tell him. Do not send me it on. But now I know. You know. You're just going to constantly do it now.
Yeah.
So I kind of fucked myself, really. But
yeah.
That was one thing I just wanted to say.
The real question is, though, why don't you have a fucking iPhone?
I do.
Then turn on iMessage, you absolute weapon.
Wait. iMessage. iMessage. Isn't that in messages?
Turn on iMessage, you weapon. Because it's free, no matter if it's pictures or whatever it is.
Yeah, but I don't like.
You are the dumbest person I know. Who has an iPhone and doesn't use iMessage? You, apparently.
Yeah, I don't like people knowing I've read the message. Okay.
Then turn read reports off.
Well, you can turn them off.
You are the dumbest fucker.
Yeah!
You stream. You've got a shit ton of equipment in your. You got a purpose-built studio for streaming, screens, PC, and you don't know how to use your fucking phone. You should be ashamed of yourself, you absolute dumbass.
You're gonna have to show me how to do that fucking read-only thing or whatever you said.
I ain't telling you shit.
Just don't use iMessage. Just use WhatsApp.
Well, no, just get to 2022, bro.
Yeah, but isn't iMessage you need Wi-Fi for?
It just uses your data. That's it's not hard. You're an absolute moron.
I think because how long has iPhones been out for? Mate, it must have been a good 10, 15 years, maybe?
Yeah, I got the iPhone 1, I believe, or the iPhone 2 when I was working at Curry's. So that was I would have been 22 years old. So
the reason why I didn't
use
iMessage is because when I was in the army, so back in 2012,
yeah,
most camps had fuck all signal, and some of them didn't even have Wi-Fi neither.
Are you still in the army?
With the data. No.
Are you still on camp?
No.
Then fucking use it, you silly prick!
Let me finish. So when I did use iMessage, it was really annoying because I was trying to send a message out with no fucking signal.
Right.
When I turned it off, I could send the message because it would just go off like your normal phone signal. So that's why, and I just haven't turned it on ever since. 10 years on, eh? 10 years on. But you had the iPhone 1.
You hurt my head.
I bet you were fucking top G then, weren't you?
Honestly, I can actually remember being on the bus, leaving the phone shop with my friend, and we're both sat there literally wanking over our new phones. It was insane. We thought we were the cool kids.
One of my best mates had an iPhone, and I was still cutting about on my what was it?
BlackBerry.
It was No. I had something worse than that. It was a little flip phone, not a flip phone. It was a slider camera. I think it was a Nokia C9.
Oh, was it the one that was in the Matrix? The green fucking slidey phone thing. It was kind of cool.
No, you slide the back and the camera shows up, and it's got flash and everything.
Oh, I don't remember that.
The 2.4 megapixels.
The Sony E fucking 70 or something like that. I had that.
Yeah. I had got that. Like a tiny little joystick in the middle.
Let me see if I can find it.
Find it up. Yeah. I used to have one of them, and I had it for years. And then I went to BlackBerry.
So we're talking. What year would that have been? Like 2005?
Oh, mate. Oh, that's it. I found it.
What is it?
So it's a Sony Ericsson.
Yeah.
C905.
C905.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember that bad boy?
Yes.
You used to get some ringtones on that bad boy.
Some ringtones. Yes. I remember I had one of these bad boys, and I thought I was the fucking
and
tits.
I had that's it. The C905 as well, the Cybershot. That was mate, that's 13 quid now.
Mad, isn't it? 13 quid.
Mate, that's £13 on eBay. Fuck me. Those phones were built different, mate. Like literally, like
you could knock someone out with a phone from back in the day. Like
that was a weapon.
You're basically walking around with a lethal weapon.
This day and age, people stab each other. People used to fucking throw their phones at each other. They used to be like, fucking yeet. But that was a good phone, to be fair.
Talking of damaging people, I've got a funny story to tell you.
Oh, go on.
I had
your stories.
I had a brush with like social services for beating my kid.
Huh? What?
Right, so the other day, right? So the kids have gone back to school, new teachers and everything, don't know them, don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
And my wife, she's at work and she gets a phone call from the school going, hi. And it was like a cause for concern for my wife as well. I was like, hi, are you okay? And Lucy was like, yeah, why, what's up? They're like, is everything all right at home? And Lucy was like, yeah, why? What's going on? Is everything all right? And they were like, yeah, everything all right with Dan? Lucy was like, can you get to the point? And they were like, so Izzy, my 4-year-old, is at school and she's just said something that's a little bit worrying. She said that Daddy likes to beat her. Right? I know! To which point my missus just burst.
Why am I laughing?
To which point my missus just burst out laughing. Like literally, she did. She was like, for fuck's sake, if you knew Dan. And they were like, right. And you're like, yeah, it's a little bit worrying for a 4-year-old to say that her dad beats her. So we just want to make sure there's no sort of domestic violence or nothing like that going on. Like, right, no, there definitely isn't. They also took the time to go and speak to my son and go, oh, what's Daddy like at home? And Dad, like, Tom was like, Dad's my best friend. Like, Dad's awesome. I like literally was like, Dad plays with me all the time. We play games. I love my dad. And then the teacher was like, so what's your sister like? And he was like, well, she's 50% love heart, 50% the devil. was his response. And then the school wanted to speak to me. So I went into the school and they're like, no, we can't talk at the school. There's other kids and parents around and it's a sensitive subject. I was like, all right, cool. So then they phoned me and I had to talk to him and I was like, look, I tell my daughter I'm beating her, but I'm just tickling her. We're just play fighting, like fucking calm down. But like it was a whole thing. They were like seriously worried about my wife and kids. And I'm like, do you realize that these are the only kids around here that have the things they have? Like they're like, my kids are so well looked after. They don't need to worry about my kids.
Mate, I hate that, but I get it, but I hate it. It's
I know what you mean.
I hate it, but I get it because maybe there is some poor children out there probably are getting beaten up and stuff. So they have some sort of procedure to go through.
Yeah.
But like yourself, they don't know you. Now they do, so they know that she hasn't got, I'm sure she hasn't got any bruises on it. Like they should be checking that surely before ringing you. Like, oh, where's he hit you? Or
You'd think
like
so.
Like, do you know what I mean? Not taken by word. Like my son could say exactly the same, and it's like, are you mad? Like,
it's just rough and tumble. But, I mean, it is what it is.
I suppose they're doing their job.
Yeah. The other thing, right?
I suppose that's a good sign, because let's say another child did that and said, "Oh yeah, Dad beats me,"
and they ignored it,
and they ignored it. And then, yeah, so I suppose that's what I mean. It's a
good thing they checked, but at the moment, like when they checked, I was like, for fuck's sake. And then I was like, no, they're doing their job.
It is insulting. But you know
what? They then said to me, they said, what you should do is you should sit Izzy down and talk to her and say, look, when Daddy says he's beating you, we're just playing and this, that, and the other. And I said, no, that's worse. Because if I then doctor a conversation, I'd much rather my kid spoke openly with you rather than say, well, Daddy told me that he's just playing and he doesn't mean to hurt me. That sounds so much fucking worse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not doctoring the conversation. That's just not happening. No. Like you, if my daughter wants to tell you something that's going on at home, I'd much rather she opens freely. It's like it speaks freely about it rather than Daddy told me to say that. No, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Sometimes though, my missus does make me want to headbutt her. You don't have a car, do you? You just said you don't have a car.
No, I have a car. I share with the missus, basically.
Oh, so perfect answer.
Because I have my own van. I work for Openreach, so I got my own van Monday to Friday most weeks, and then on the weekend I might use her car. Like she uses a car mostly, so there's no point me having a car to maybe even run it maybe once a week.
Right.
I mean, so.
Sorry, she just texted me just then. I just text back going, babe, I'm busy. we share a car as well, and there's a few annoyances with sharing a car. I'm 6 foot. She is 5 foot.
I know where you're going with this.
So I have to adjust the seat. Yeah, exactly. Adjust the seat. I have to adjust the steering wheel, the mirrors. I have to adjust all of that sort of stuff, right? And that's fine. I don't mind it. The Merc does a lot of it itself. When you unlock it with a key, it registers that sort of thing. So it will move certain aspects of the car for you. The one thing it won't do is repark the car for me. So my missus is fucking tiny. And for some reason, she parks about 4 inches away from the fence. Our driveway I'm not even joking. I'm not joking even a little bit. Our driveway can take 3 cars. 3. It is fucking huge. And we've got 1 car. For some unknown reason, she parks that close to the fence. And I can't for the life of me understand why she does it. And I've said to her, I go, babe, you realise we've got another 18 foot of driveway that way. Why are you parking so close to the fence? And she still does it. Like, I'm like, babe, one day you're going to smash the fence with the door. Like, what are you doing?
The wind will catch it. It will.
Yeah.
Because I had that. Oh, mate, I'm gonna have to say this story. I don't give a fuck.
Go on, I'm ready.
I was in Aldi, and my missus went to their shop. I had the kids in the car. They were kipping.
Yeah.
So I was just chilling. To be fair, I think I was watching one of your streams.
Sounds about right. Stream on Twitch, by the way.
Yeah. And it was a bit of wind. This car parked in right next to me, and all I heard was a massive thud. I thought, fucking hell, she hit my car. She got out the car, the winds caught the door and absolutely twatted the top end of the rear wheel arch. And
of your car?
Of my car.
Oh.
So she closed the door. I got out, right? I had a look. There was a fucking, it was like a slight dent, not a crazy dent. It was just a slight dent. And I thought, and like a bit of, no paint was damaged. A bit of her paint was on my car, basically. So I rubbed it off.
It's still annoying.
And I was just like, for fuck's sake, she didn't even say sorry. I got out and made it obvious I got out. I was in the car.
Yeah, I do that, make a massive thing of it, like, fucking right, what have you done?
I rubbed it, and I thought, fucking hell. I went, you've dented the car. She goes, no, I haven't. Because she had a quick look. She goes, I've only hit your wheel arch, which is like PVC, it's like plastic.
Yeah.
And I go, and you've hit the wheel arch. Plastic as well. And then she goes, yeah, it's not dented. I go, there's a fucking dent there. And she just literally shrugged, she rolled her eyes, right? Didn't say nothing, and just went, yeah, it's not even a sorry, mate. And I just went, right, like, not like, sorry about that. The wind caught her in it. And I'm like, right, it is what it is. Like, you couldn't do anything. Like, it's like I'm pissed off.
I've had the same thing.
But I was raging.
There's nothing you can do.
Real snobby. I mean, like, to the point where, like, I wanted to just grab grab her and go, "What the fuck?" Like,
yeah, but you can't.
She walked off. So I was like, how am I going to get her back? So I went, So I was thinking away in the car, like fucking evil plans. I was like, shall I let her tires down? Shall I fucking, I don't know, shall I nick her window wipers? Shall I do something? And I was like, no, don't go down to that level. Anyway, so then obviously she took Cobain, my eldest, shopping with her. So when they come back, I told her, Keith had a look, my missus, and she went, it's mainly her car, so she went fucking mad. She was like, give me a key now. I was like, no, we're not keying it. I was like, no, we're not keying it. I go, leave it with me. So I go, give me Cobain. So I went into the back door where Cobain sits, which is by her car, opened it up slowly till my door touched her car, right?
Love that.
On her thing. And I put him in, so I made it obvious I was putting him in the car and in his car seat, because it's quite jiggly about.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I did a fucking shoulder barge into my door. And all I heard was a clunk. And I was just like,
job well done.
Closed the door, checked my door, make sure I hadn't damaged my door. My door was fine. Looked at hers, it was just a crease. And I just went, fuck you. And then Keaton looked and went, I'm happy with that.
It's mad, isn't it? How you have to get them back.
I made it so sly, and I thought, now we are even. But I would not have done that if she was so apologetic and like, oh, I'm so sorry. I would have been like, all right, it is what it is. Like, it happens. Like, if it was me, I'd be real apologetic. But she didn't. She was like, it hasn't done any damage. It nothing, and just shrugged her shoulders and fucked off and like rolled her eyes and puffed and huffed and puffed and that. And I was like, you what?
I had the same fucking thing. I had the same fucking thing, bro. I'm parked. It's like we only had an old Vauxhall Astra at this time, years and years and years ago. Parked in a car park, and this old dear, just without even thinking, just opened the door, boom, into the side of my car. Massive old fucking dent in it. I didn't really care, because the other side of the car was dented anyway, and I was about ready to sell it anyway or scrap it. Anyway, I just wound the window down. I was like, can you be more careful in future, love? Just nice and polite. And she went, I didn't touch your car. And I went, you just smashed shit out of it. And she went, oh, it's only a car, get over it. I was like, no, you can't go around life doing that. You can't just be like, someone might have paid good money for their car and have a really nice car, and you've done that. You're lucky. I don't really give a fuck. Can you be a bit more careful? She went,
Imagine if she did that to your car now.
Oh, I'd kill her. But she went, oh, well, what? She went, oh, well, whatever, right? But luckily, in the glove box, we keep stickers, and they're bright yellow. They look like parking tickets, and they've got "You park like a cunt" written on them. And so I just slapped one on her windscreen. They are a bastard to get off, like proper bastard. She would have been there for an hour, 2 hours trying to scrape that off before she could drive, because it was right in the window. So I didn't damage her car. Nice. But there was she knew full well that would have been me. If she'd done it to my Merc now, there's a special button in the Merc that opens the boot, and I'd have just thrown her in it. Just thrown her the fuck in it.
Talking about your Merc, actually, I was watching a video earlier today, and so there's. Have you got? I'm guessing you got a spare key.
Yeah.
So when you see Lucy park up on your drive, pop the boot up.
I do already. That's already something I do.
When she closes it, pop it up again.
It's already. I've already done it. But the problem.
You need to video it.
The problem is, right? Yeah, I will. I'll video it and I'll show you. The problem is now she's gotten so used to me doing it, she just walks off.
Oh right.
She leaves the boot open. Because for those of you that don't know me, but me and my missus, we live next door to each other. So she doesn't have to come in the house and be like, you can go close that. She literally just goes back to her house, and then my car is on the driveway with the fucking boot open. So I've literally got to go downstairs and close it. So I don't play that game anymore, but it's definitely a game I used to play. Fucking man.
That would have been such good content if you videoed that and just fucking plopped it up. Especially on, it was on Lad Bible I got that from. Some guy was just like, she's had all shopping in her hands. He was like, whoop. And she was closing it. She was getting wild mad. And like, she's going to get angry when she says this. He did it about 5-6 times.
It's normally around now that people take, in their podcast, they'll take a minute to sort of say thanks to their sponsors, or be like, oh, and now a word from our sponsor. We don't have any.
We don't have any sponsors.
So,
but we'd like to say thank you again for those people that watched our first episode and the introduction and stuff like that.
And we'd like, thanks to our sponsors. Should we make a sponsor up?
Let's call it.
Well, Joe Rogan's first ever sponsors was Fleshlight, weren't they?
I got one. Thank you, McDonald's, for the lovely latte.
I thought you meant you got a fleshlight then.
Most days.
I thought you were like, I've got a fleshlight. Yeah, you know those like male masturbating tools.
What?
Have you not seen them?
No.
Mate, Google fleshlight now. I think it's a fleshlight. And then hit images.
Oh, baby!
You never seen them before?
I'm gonna have to get one of them.
I'm not bringing that up on the podcast for people to see. If you want to know what that is, you have a Google machine that you're probably watching this podcast on right now anyway.
Fleshlight, mate.
That was Joe Rogan's first ever sponsor, was Fleshlight, and on his podcast he would have them in the background of his podcast and just randomly start talking about how awesome they are.
So Fleshlight, if you want to sponsor us, fucking fire it will, because I'll be like, you know, first time user of it. So I'll give you the honest detail. I'll do it live on
Talking of fleshlights and stuff though, right? Here's a question for you, right? That you might not want to answer, but I don't give a fuck. Do you watch porn? Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Right.
Who doesn't, right?
After you've busted a nut, right?
Go on.
How quickly do you turn that porn off?
Fucking, it's off before I've busted a nut.
How mad is that? Isn't that
Crazy,
the weirdest thing? Like, as soon as that nut is bust, pause. I can't even hear it. I can't even listen to it. I can't have. Yeah. I have to turn it off. I have to get it off my phone. I have to, like, literally as soon
history, done.
Yeah, done. I cannot. Like, just the sound. Like, the sound of it makes me. I can't. But while I'm fucking on a mission, it's the best thing ever. But as soon as the mission is complete, so is that video. And yeah. I wonder how many men are the same, where they just they can't. They have to just turn it off.
Here's another question on relating on that. Do you? I think I'm probably the most. I think I'd probably do what most men do, is skip the intro and just get to the good bit.
Oh, of course. Of course.
I know people that watch the whole thing. They got candles out and they're just enjoying the ride, mate. Like,
so I'll be honest, it depends. It depends on how fucking backed up I am. Like, if I'm looking for like a chilled vibe, I've got nothing else to do for the day, I may have just finished streaming, feeling good, I've got nothing, then maybe I'll watch the whole thing. But it's very rare. Normally I'll just be like, fast forward to the bit that I want to see. I
think because saying that, I think when I was a young little teenager, discovering who I am and what my penis is for, and I first started watching porn, I don't even know how old I was. How old was you, do you reckon? I reckon I was probably about, I don't know, I reckon I saw my first set of titties and started tugging away. I was probably about 12.
I was about 10.
I'd say.
I was about 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I was early.
Horny bastard.
Early doors.
Early boy.
Early doors.
I might have been 11, I'm going to say. I'd say 11 turning 12. And I had a flip phone, and I just had a pair of tits to look at. And I would just go, and I would just be like, away, just a pair of tits. I couldn't do that now.
Bro, you've broken a memory for me. Shit. Mate, so my dad was obviously a builder, and he owned his own building firm, and he would bring we had about 20 work vans. He would bring them back, and they all had their own newspaper in with page 3 girls. My job as a young lad was cleaning out the vans. And I remember, I've just remembered, I would nick all the page 3, I would cut them all out, and I would stick them on the inside of my bedroom cupboards.
I used to do the same as well.
You have broken a memory. But my dad, again, because he was a builder, my bed was on top of kitchen cabinets. So I had like 6 or 7 kitchen cabinets, and the bed was on top, like a cabin bed. So I had loads of cabinet space. And yeah, my parents never said anything about that. I'm going to have to bring that up to my mum. Like, Mum, did you never say anything?
Mine used to be Nuts magazines when I grew up.
Didn't have that sort of money. How rich were you?
No. I used to have my mates, because he used to collect them. And then so the next week that come out, he passed them on to me. And then I was like, this is weird. He's probably wanked over this, but it's my turn now. I don't give a fuck. And then I just had the collection as well. And then
sticking together. Like
sticky babies. No, to be fair, they were clean. But when I had them, they were stuck together. And I swear down, mate, like, as you grow up, you just find all these. But as I was saying, like watching the porno, I just skip to the good bits now. But when I was younger, I do remember watching the episode. It used to be CDs back then, so you put it in your PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, because it was a DVD. Put it on there and fucking press R2 to fast forward the intro bit, and then I used to just watch the whole thing, and I'd just go, "Oh, it's starting to get good now. Let's go."
Let's go.
I was so interested how because I was a fucking massive virgin back then, so.
Oh, well, of course, we all were.
So,
I remember walking to school and finding a magazine in a bush, but it took me about 7 days before I actually had the courage to pick it up. I saw it, clocked it in the corner of my eye, but because it was on a main road, I thought I don't want anyone seeing me going in the bush. So I had to wait until there was no traffic. It took me about 7 days, and then I finally got hold of this magazine. I was like, yes, mate, I'd won the fucking lottery. But nowadays, people can just, open up their phone. Kids these days are going to be susceptible to so much shit. I'm so scared of what they're going to be watching. It is scary. But I want to change the subject again because I like to do this sort of shit. October's coming up, right? Should we do some form of sober October?
I don't really drink that much anyway. But
some form of sober October. So it doesn't have to be alcohol we cut out. It could be vaping, smoking. It could be, or it could be like we could do an October challenge where every day we run 5K. Do you know what I mean? We could do like a challenge for the whole, and we could put it on the Dandino Instagram. We can video ourselves doing it and put it up on the stories and stuff, or on the Dandino TikTok. But we should do something for October that we have to do every day of October, regardless of what shift we're on, regardless of our kids, regardless of our wives. Something we have to do every day.
Yeah. Okay. What are you thinking?
I don't know. Have literally no idea. My goal.
You want to get
I want to lose weight. I'm a big fatty.
Okay, let's go for 0 takeaway.
That's too easy. I can do that.
Plus.
Here we go.
Should we start off easier? Maybe do like a 1.5K run.
Okay. How far is that in a mile?
Day. That's about a mile. It's about a mile. Let's say a mile a day.
Okay.
Just 1 mile a day.
Okay. I'm down. And we have to recall.
Even though my ankle's fucked and broken, but yeah, I'll still do it.
Do you have a watch? Do you have a watch that will monitor that you can record from, or?
I can use my Nike app.
Okay, so and you can screenshot that to me and send it to me every day, and I will do the same to you. So the whole of October, we've got to run basically.
Yeah, and I don't care. Like if my missus work, like she's on nights tomorrow, for example, if she's on nights, I'll literally quickly go out. It won't take too long. I gotta go and run for a mile. We'll have to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
See how much weight we lose or something like that.
And if anyone else wants to join in, feel free and send it. You know our Discords and stuff. Send it to Dino or send it to me, and we'll get it sorted. But I reckon me and
Dino, mile and a half, a mile run a day keeps the doctor away.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm a big fatty.
You're not a fatty.
Oh, mate, I've put on so much weight recently. Need to do something about that.
That's 2 minutes cheese and crackers.
Yeah, more than likely.
To be fair, I've lost weight, so I'm kind of happy. Like, I was 104, like just short 104 kilo about 2.5 months ago.
Oh,
I'm now
really?
91.
Oh, you've done well.
I lost 11 kilo, but that's just because I gym with my mate, and we've stopped because I can't run because of my ankle. But I can run a mile. I can run a mile without. After 2 miles, my ankle just starts going, "Help me!"
And we are getting older.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Bro, right, so I'm 35, so I'm a few years ahead of you. Have you yet got yourself hairs coming from places you didn't know hairs grew?
Yeah, my ears.
Yes, mate! I'm so pleased you said that.
Mate,
bro, I was giving a friend a lift in the car the other day, and she is a gobby shite, and I love her to bits because she has no filter on her mouth. Her name's Sam, and she is the most wonderful human being. And anyway, I'm driving in the car, and she suddenly looked at me and she went, "Fucking hell, Dan, you got hairy ears." I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?" She went, "You got hairy ears, and they're white as well. You got grey hairs growing out your head." I was like, "All right." So I came home and I noticed I got massive, I had 2 massive white hairs growing out of my nose and about 7, like a forest growing out of my ears. I had to trim. I said to my missus, I go, "Why didn't you ever tell me about that?" And she was like, "You're just getting older. It's just what happens." I'm like, "What?" Fucking walking around looking like a bushwalkie.
My nose gets so bad, like literally, like it gets to a point where I can literally just like pluck them with my fingers. Like,
Same, but I didn't.
What's going on?
I'm not one of these like fucking artsy fartsy people that look in the mirror at myself for 2 hours a day. I couldn't give. I'm not one of those. I couldn't give a shit what I look like. I've given up on life. I've got my wife. Who else have I got to impress? So I was just fucking looking in the mirror and suddenly realized, I am a hairy bastard. I've got hairs coming out of me now. But the problem I have is they come out white. So they're really visible.
Do you have grey hair on top of your head?
No. None.
Really? You don't have any grey hair?
None. Not on my head. And I'm gutted.
Loads.
I'm gutted. Grey hair is the way forward. You're lucky.
I had my first grey hair when I was 17. And I had 2 on my right-hand side. And my missus used to always pluck them out. Like, doink, doink. Like once every month or so. Doink! You like the cartoon, like
yeah. I had a sound effect to that.
And then eventually it was like 3 or 4. And then next minute I had one there. Doink, doink. And then fucking next minute they're everywhere now. Honestly, everywhere.
Do you want to start some controversy?
Controversial conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a few in the notes, but I don't even know how. Mine's a fucking dark one, I think. But I'll let you. Seems like you brought it up. You can start it.
The Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid. Okay.
Have you seen this?
The new one.
Yeah.
I saw. Did you see Meg Electro's tweet?
No.
She mentioned about the Little Mermaid.
What did she say?
She said, "Hang on. Let me find it up." So you talk about it, and I'll find the tweet.
I don't really follow anyone on Twitter anymore. I'm not really on Twitter. And now I've kind of like given up hopes of being a world famous Twitch star. I've just kind of slid out of the loop a little bit. But yeah, so the new motion, like live action motion movies coming out, The Little Mermaid, very exciting.
Okay.
The Little Mermaid was was a show that me and my sister used to watch growing up. And we would sing it. A whole new world. We used to mate, brilliant movie. Absolutely brilliant movie. And the
Isn't that Aladdin, like you just quoted?
Probably.
That was Aladdin you quoted.
What was it? Under the Sea. That's the one.
Under the Sea.
Under the Sea. So yeah. Check you out knowing your Disney movies, your Disney princess movies.
I fucking love Disney.
But the new one is obviously being portrayed by Ariel's being portrayed by a black actress.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me. Like you crack on. What's Meg said in her tweet?
So okay, I found it now. So Kenna is Meg's little niece, I think, or cousin. I think
her niece. Okay.
Niece or cousin. Yeah, her niece. So this is me. Kenna, did you see so this is her saying, Kenna, did you see the Little Mermaid trailer? And Kenna replied saying, yeah, it's so cool. She's brown like me. Maybe now I can be her for Halloween.
Halloween?
Me, laughing face. That's what I mean. So when I saw that, I thought, oh, so you think Ariel as a white, real dark red hair Little Mermaid?
Yes.
So yeah, same with you. I don't really care.
I don't really care, right? But I grew up and Ariel was white with ginger hair or red hair or whatever. And that's a classic. So for me, it's a little bit weird. It is going to be weird watching it. But that's because for 35 years of my life, Ariel has been white.
Yeah.
Now, just because I'm saying it feels weird, isn't me being racist. I'm just saying it's just weird. I saw this thing on an American TV host. He was like, "Oh, these internet racists saying that it's wrong. It's not wrong. I don't think it's not wrong at all. Of course, it's not. It's just odd it's just for me to wrap my head around. It would be like you, like me turning on the camera and suddenly you were Chinese. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I'd love to know how it happened, but I'd be like, okay. So, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But they're going, oh, you're an internet racist because you're saying it's weird. No, understand. For 35 years, this character, this fictional character, so she can be whoever. She can be a fucking poodle. I don't care. But it's just an odd thing. Now, You said about Aladdin. She wasn't she black in Aladdin?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think yeah.
And
black,
if they bring out Disney movies from now on, they can have black characters in it. I don't think anyone will care. I don't think anyone cares. I honestly don't think anyone cares. I think it is just the familiarity, that word, of Ariel being white with ginger hair, and that's now changing. It's not wrong. It's just something we've got to get used to. It's just odd. But then people were branding you, because you say that, branding you as a racist. Like, no, we're fucking not. You moron. Do you get my point?
Not racist. We're just like, like you said, it's like we turn on the camera now and you've turned Chinese.
Well, it wouldn't be a problem. I couldn't give a shit. I'm like, I would just want to know how. You know, I'd be like, okay. This is the new. This is the new Dino.
That goes on to the new thing, like fucking when they were saying about Superman. He's now but he's gay. Is that right?
I don't know. I don't. Oh yeah.
Bisexual.
I think so, which is fine.
Or was that Buzz Light? No, Buzz Lightyear's bisexual.
Buzz Lightyear. That's a weird one. He's a toy. Buzz. But then none of it's real. Is it?
Buzz Lightyear to the rescue.
Superheroes are no more real than Buzz Lightyear, I guess.
That's something like that. Like
not really bothered about that.
Character, and they're saying it's like, who gives a fuck?
Do you know what is? Genuinely. Yeah, who cares about your sexual orientation? Like as long as you're a nice
fucking Andy's play toy.
As long as you're a nice person, it doesn't matter. But you did kind of touch on something there. You know the Marvel superheroes. They've come under fire now because they're too muscular. The women in it have got tiny little waists and big boobs, and the men have got six packs and massive arms. And they're now saying that future superheroes need to show a wide variety of human body shapes. So they're going to be fat. There's going to be. They're
a fucking superhero.
This is my argument. Well, they're supposed to be super. So the whole point is that they're fucking ripped.
Let's have a fucking. I don't know.
Have me as a superhero. Have me as a superhero. How pissed off would you be if you're in a burning building and I turn up looking like this? You would probably rather stay in the fucking building, because you'd be like, this fat bastard is going to have a heart attack on the way down the stairs and drop me. Like, literally, it's definitely a weird one. I understand that everyone needs to be portrayed. Everyone has a fair shout of, being in the limelight, regardless of size and regardless of colour or race or religion. But if you're a superhero, surely you should be fit. You should be super. In some way. It doesn't matter about your religion. It doesn't matter about your race. It doesn't matter about if Superman's gay. Couldn't care less. But he has to be super. I'm offended.
I'm offended that people are offended that superheroes are fucking fit. I'm offended.
But do you know what I mean? I don't care. I don't care if they're Chinese. I don't care if they're Hindu. I don't care if they're Muslim, Christian. I don't care what race I don't care, but they have to be muscular. Come on.
They got to have some like.
They got to have something super about them. They got to be super. Yeah. And now there's going to be people going, well, you can be super and be fat. I've seen people doing handstands that are fat. Yeah, but try and fly through a building. Try you know what I mean?
Mate, I don't get why people are making a mass. Well. Yeah, people are getting an issue with that. Like, really, it's a fucking superhero movie. Like, imagine a terrible, oversized, fucking disgusting, greasy, over beast weight Hulk.
Like me.
Which is like the Hulk is now a real he looks like a sumo wrestler now. It's like, that's not the Hulk now. The Hulk is a raging beast, strong as fuck, pure muscle, strength, anger, rage, and we'll see Hulk now just get absolutely. But it's weird you say that, actually, because if they're coming under fire with it, I'm a bit of a Marvel fan, and Thor, who Chris Hemsworth plays, he in one of the, so when obviously we've found, I don't know any spoilers out there, if you haven't seen it, fuck yourself. Basically, he gets fat because he's so down, and he plays a whole movie where he's actually overweight.
He's chunky,
Yeah, and he's chunky.
I think I've seen that.
To be fair, I haven't seen the new one coming out, but apparently he's in looking really good shape, which is a bit annoying because he's probably worked even harder to like look good. Obviously, he didn't actually gain that weight; it's all like put on.
I'm going to randomly go back on everything I just said because I've got another note in my phone that I wanted to talk about, and it kind of debunks everything I just said. I did see a superhero on TikTok. if I can find the video, I'll put it in now. I'll like edit it in. So if I found it, here it is.
Making this one the same level so that I can then make it into one big flat bed. And then careful with the touch. Gotta get it right. Gotta get it nice and straight.
And if I haven't, I was just quiet for a second for no reason. But basically, there's this geezer on TikTok, and he's got no arms. No arms. He's completely armless. Excuse the pun. And he does woodwork, carpentry, and he's using power tools. He's got like a circular saw, and he's making cupboards, and he's making amazing furniture with his fucking feet.
Yeah, it's mad.
If I can find the video, I'll put it up, because honestly, it is insane. The guy marks everything with a pencil with his mouth or with his big toe, and then he's got cable ties wrapped around the handles so that the emergency, like, let go thing doesn't work. And what he does is he'll, with his other toe, flick the switch for the on button for the plug while he's holding the saw in his other foot, and he'll cut a long piece of plywood, and then he'll use a drill and stuff, all with his feet. Fucking mental. I even messaged him and goes, I'm not being funny, I'm a mechanic. I wear gloves so that I don't get dermatitis or anything sort of skin conditions. You obviously are barefoot. And he's like, he was like, yeah, my feet get pretty fucked up. And then I said, surely there's a company out there that will make you a pair of gloves. And he's like, not for one person. There's no company out there that will make gloves for one person's feet. I was like, could you not wear like slipper socks? And he's like, no, they don't grip enough. That I'd need specially made socks and I don't have the money for that. But, and which is fucking tragic. But how mad is that? That this geezer, he's a superhero in my eyes. He can build furniture with his feet.
Yeah, like there's all different types of what you can define as a superhero, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My son thinks I'm a superhero because I can cook him dinner in about 4 seconds using the phone.
But as a non-fictional superhero, you think of like, you know, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman.
Yeah.
But as you said, with the guy, that guy with only he builds with his feet. There's millions of people out there, and that's a pure example of anything is possible if you put your mind to it. Genuinely. And I've seen there's like one, I can't remember his name now, bless him, but I'm sorry I can't remember your name, but there's one guy who plays Apex, and he's got no hands, and he plays on a controller, and he controls using his chin, and he uses like obviously his limb to like shoot and stuff like that, and he is fucking cracked.
Is that my mate Mike the Quad you're talking about? Because he does that.
I don't know. He plays Apex, and he's known for Apex. And
is he American?
And he has it like this. I think so. Yeah.
Mike the Quad does that. Mike the Quad.
He's unbelievable. Like he's like Diamond, I think, maybe even more Masters, which is fucking impressive.
So Mike,
someone who doesn't have any hands.
Mike is someone I know from Darwin Project, and I would play games with him, and he would just fuck people up. And I just thought he liked quad bikes, which is why his name was Mike the Quad. But it's just Mike the Quadriplegic, which is what it means. Yeah. And he's ex-military, and he come home off tour, bought himself a motorbike, and then at 10 miles an hour wrapped his spine around a lamppost. So he's now in a wheelchair, and he can move his arms, but he can't control his hands. So he's got these massive like pads that he hits to do different things, and he'll control things with his mouth, and he's in a wheelchair. And I think he now works for Microsoft to make, or in some respect, I could have that wrong, but he does something for the games community to build better controllers for disabled people. I'll put a link to his channel actually in this video, because he is actually fucking insane. I love that guy.
That's good. I love how people come up with stuff like that, because no matter what, you can never rule anyone out despite what disability they have.
No, absolutely not. You really can't. Which is why, like, I reckon you got the Paralympics, but those motherfuckers put in more fucking effort than most people. Most people.
Oh, yeah.
They have to work 10 times harder to get where they are. But yet they're showed that they don't get anyone in the stands for them. But they're actually, like, they're incredible human beings. They're super people.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah,
do you want to know a fun pastime that I've started doing? I haven't done it to you yet, but I'm going to have to.
Pastime?
Yeah, something I've started doing just for shits and giggles, just because I find it really funny.
Go on then.
I've started stealing people's Facebook profile pictures.
Have you actually?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Right. So what I do?
Just what people you know?
Yeah.
Or just random?
No. My friends. So my friends.
Oh, right,
so
okay,
what I do is I steal their Facebook profile picture, and then what I'll do is I will, I'll edit myself in the background. And then it doesn't matter where they are, and I'll send it to them, and I'll be like, "Oh, I've changed your profile picture. You should check it out," and send it to them. And then a few of my friends have actually made their actual profile picture with me in it.
Oh, really?
And I'm now at the point where I kind of want to start doing it to randoms and just Photoshop myself in their picture and just send it to them in a message. And just
I want to see. I want to see this. Like, you want to get this picture of what the editing that you've done.
Hang on, I'll have to like. Hang on. I've got to remember how to do this. Here we go. I don't want to. I'll do that. I'll put it up on the video in the edit now, so you'll see what price he's looking at. But if you look at that image I just sent you in Discord.
That's class.
I've started doing that to people.
Just like your face.
Just editing my face and putting it in their profile pictures on their Facebook. It's just, I don't know why I've done it, but I just make it
that'd be great, mate. You should do that to like all your friends or everyone on Facebook, but have like Dan Dino in there, have me and you on there, like next to each other.
So funny. Just that photo, because you remember Jake Paul and his brother. They started getting famous because of the Olympics. If you remember, they kept doing the dab in the Olympics, and they was in every fucking shot, every camera shot doing the dab, and that's kind of where they came from, as far as I'm aware. Just spreading their face around the place. So I thought, I'm just going to start with my friends and just start randomly. Like, I'll start doing it to people's Instagram profile pictures as well, and just send it to them.
Just send them.
Just just see what they do.
Yeah. No, like with regards to Jake and Logan, I think they started on Vine.
Oh yeah. That makes sense. It's now TikTok.
Vine is pretty much like TikTok, but just didn't get as much credit for. It's pretty much exactly the same. Yeah, exactly the same. And I remember watching there was some fucking funny. I think it was better back then because no one got offended.
No, oh mate, this whole world of people being offended now, it just does my head in. Because
I'm offended at people getting offended.
We're like the nicest people in the world. Like, I don't care about where you're from or who you are or how you even identify. Like, none of that bothers me. I just care if you're a nice person. It's like they're doctoring all sorts of things now. Have you seen the Avril Lavigne song that they might have to take off the air? He was a skater boy. She said, "See you later, boy." Yeah. They might have to take that off.
Why?
He was a boy. Wait, he was a boy. She was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious?
No way! Get out of it! No. No.
People are getting offended by it. How is it obvious? How is it obvious? Yeah, so there's a lot of that going on now. Which, like, I'm not transphobic. I don't care. Like, if it makes you feel more comfortable identifying as the opposite sex or identifying as anything else, you crack on, and I will respect that fully. I don't understand it, but I will respect it. And the reason I don't understand it is because I'm not walking in your shoes, so I don't know what it feels like. So to sit here and go, I understand it, would be fucking hypocritical and mental. But I fully understand, like, I'm fully respectful of it. But to then go and change things like Avril Lavigne's song, the fuck? It's weird, isn't it?
There's a line. There's a line.
Mate, we've gone way past the line. People get offended over everything now. Everything now.
I bet you someone's offended from your opinion there.
Oh, more than likely. And I hope so.
But you're very entitled to it.
100%.
And to be fair, I agree with exactly what you said.
100%.
Exactly what you said.
Do you know the other thing that gets me at the minute is calling people queer?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, because you're always like 6 years younger than me. When I was in school, the word queer meant odd or weird or not normal. That's what queer meant. Oh, that's a bit queer. That's what that meant. It had no connotations to your sexual orientation at all. Gay meant that you liked someone of the same sex. It was as simple as that. So you could be male and be gay, female and be gay. Queer just wasn't used in that term. And if you called someone queer, that was offensive because you're basically saying they're weird and not normal. But nowadays, queer means something totally different. And I was speaking to someone recently who identifies as queer. They don't call themselves gay, they call themselves queer. For me, hella offensive. I would never call them that because in my brain, my old age brain, that's fucking offensive. I can't say that to you because I'm basically, because of what that word means to me and what I learned at school, that's basically me saying that you're weird and you're odd and no, that's wrong.
See,
I would call you gay.
So my generation, well, to me, it could be this. Some people might think the same as you, thought the same way. Queer was the sort of same word as being gay.
Yeah, it wasn't when I was in school.
Yeah, so that's what I was like. That's what I mean. But it was a more offensive word than calling someone gay.
But nowadays,
that's what mine is.
From a few people I've spoken to, they would prefer to be considered queer. Like they would.
But then I know some people don't. But people that are not queer or gay get offended for you saying that.
Mad, isn't it?
I think you explained a story about that before.
Yeah, I did. I don't want to go into details here, but there was a conversation I had with somebody about it, and it got very heated, and I was just like, okay.
What?
And I was like, all right, cool.
I swear down that I think queer is still in the point where what sexuality you are. I swear it is.
It is now. It is now. That's what it is, and moving forward, that's what it will be. Yeah. But that's not what the word meant as I was growing up. The word has evolved as the English language does, and I've just so happened to be in the sort of awkward bit where I don't know quite where to use the word, so now I just don't. Because I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to cause upset or offence to anybody, but anyone who's like in their sort of, I'd say anyone that's younger than the age of, say, 23, I can offend by saying spaghetti. That might be an offensive word these days. I don't know. I don't know. It's all about educating me. But there's so much of it going on now. It's hard to keep up.
Very
hard.
I don't know a thing. I was gonna say this is completely different. We'll go off subject now.
All right.
Because we could go on for that for fucking ages, couldn't we? Really? We can go on another. We can go on it. We'll probably come across that topic again for sure.
100%.
100%. Yeah. Right. What do you? This is a question for you. What do you prefer when you finish work, or just in general, how you clean yourself? A shower or a bath?
Shower.
Shower.
All day long.
Yeah, I like showers.
I will. If anyone.
How often would you say you had a bath a week or month?
Never.
Yeah.
I actually can't. I genuinely cannot remember the last time I had a bath.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
I don't want to bathe in my own shit. I would rather have a shower.
So when I grew up, I always had baths, but I bath my children. Do you bath your kids?
If they want a bath,
come in the shower with you.
If they want a bath, they'll have a bath. If they want a shower, they have a shower.
Yeah.
They have a choice.
I'm the same. Yeah. So I right, we're going for a bath, and they'll just go, yeah, right then. Or, well, Cobain, my oldest, is getting to that point now. He goes, no. I want to shower with you, Daddy.
How old is Cobain?
Oh my God. He's 4.
All right, cool.
He's funny because he comes in the shower. Oh my God, it gets all awkward in the shower with him because we've got we've got like that, and he's put his head is perfect head height with my dick, and he just stares at it, mate. And it's just like you're washing your face with this soap, right? And you're like that, and it's all fucking dripping down on his head, and then you look down and he's just staring at your piece, and you're just like. And in my head, I'm like, yep, that's where you came from, boy.
yeah, exactly. So I had a bit of that, but I don't know how you parent, but we're very open. So I'll be like, yeah, that's my penis. You've got one too.
No,
and then with my daughter, I'll be like, you don't have a penis because you're, you wasn't born with one.
Like
but I bathed them recently together. They're still at the age where they want to bath together. And actually, that brings me on to an interesting thing. Anyway, they were bathing together, and my son was laid at the top of the bath, and my daughter was at the bottom of the bath. And then out of nowhere, she wanted to rest her head on his belly. But that's where he's like, because of the way he was laid, she put her head in between his legs. And I was like, no, sit up because you'll hurt him. And it was a super weird moment. Me and my wife kind of looked at each other like that was just weird. Like she was going to lay her head on his winky. Now, they don't think anything of it because they're kids, but we think something of it because we're adults. And I was just like, yeah, that maybe we need to start bathing them separately. But also, what's really funny about that is them two. They don't see anything. They don't see anything there. They don't think, "Oh, I'm going to hurt him. I'm going to rest my head there." She doesn't have one, so she doesn't know what it feels like. He's never had anyone rest their head there, so he doesn't know that it's going to bloody hurt. But interestingly, because they are siblings, they're quite happy to be naked in front of each other. No problem with that. The older four, we've got 6 kids in our family. The first 4 are not biologically mine. They are definitely mine, but they're not biologically mine. And my 6-year-old son, if the 20-year-old son is in the house, won't take his clothes off. Because he's like, I don't want my brother to see me naked. Weird that, isn't it? He's fine for me to see him naked, he's fine for his mum to see him naked, and he's fine for his 4-year-old sister to see him naked. But his older brothers and his older sister, who are not biologically linked to him, but he's always grown up with them, with us saying to him, they're your brother and sisters, he gets really funny about being naked in front of them. That's a weird one, right?
Yeah.
I've never said to him, oh, you can't be naked in front of your brothers and sisters. Just because they're stepbrothers and sisters doesn't mean... It means fuck all. Like, if he wants to run around the house naked at the age of fucking 6, who gives a shit? It's his own house, but he won't do it. Like, if he's going to the toilet, he'll make sure the door is locked. And he says it's just in case the others try and open the door. I just want to know, like, his mindset there. Why does it bother him?
You should ask him.
I should ask him.
You should ask him, but I think at that age they might have some sort of self-conscious to themselves of some sort.
Yeah,
I think if you asked him, he wouldn't know how to explain it.
Maybe that's probably why I haven't asked him, because I don't want to make it weird for him. Yeah. But I think it's not wrong. It's just what you just said is self-awareness. So I think my son at the age of 6 is starting to become self-aware and body conscious. And I hope he's becoming body conscious in a positive way. I'd hate for him to grow up thinking he has to hide himself, especially from family. But yeah, but he's becoming body conscious. Like, babies will run around the house naked. Toddlers walk around the house naked. You're changing their nappy or whatever, and then they'll run around the house for an hour with a nappy on. That's just what they do. Yeah. But my son is starting to get to the age where he's body conscious, but only around specific people. And I just find that I find that curious.
Well, my nephew's about the same age, 5 or 6 now, and he's very like that as well.
Oh, okay.
He won't be. I don't think he'll be naked in front of me neither. Like in front of me, but he will with his mum, and for his stepdad, Kieran.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think maybe that age they're just discovering like what it is. In
find
some
it
sense.
Fascinating.
Yeah, but as you said, like my son's 4, my youngest is 2. They will have bath with their cousins, who are both little girls. And one's 8, I think, or 9, and the other one's 4, the same age as Cobain. They're 6 weeks apart, and they'll have a bath together. But like when you said, it's weird for us thinking that he was laying down on there, but they don't even know. The only thing they know it's for is to have a piss out of.
Yeah.
So when they start talking, like what I've heard, I've seen clips online when they're trying to teach children as young as that. Like, I don't know, year 2?
Oh, what, like sex education and shit?
Sex education in year 2?
Fuck that.
When I had my sex education, it was year 6, so I was like 11.
They sent my kid home the other day with fucking homework. I just gave it back to the teacher. I was like, he's 6. He's playing with Lego. Fuck off.
Yeah. What, sex education?
No, not sex education, but just general homework. I'm like,
yeah. Like
6, fuck off.
Yeah, like, with that, he's still got to play.
100%.
They got like my son loves watching YouTube and which is fine, I think.
Yeah,
because
same.
I feel like that's going to be the new norm.
It's the new book.
Like it's the new book, and they watch but he watches people play with their toys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we spoke about this before.
Yeah, so he watches people play with Imaginext toys and them playing with all the Batman figures, which he has because. Funny enough, it's like a free advertisement for the toy company because he's like, I want that, and then we get him for Christmas. But then he's reenacting what they're doing, which is making him. Which when he speaks out, he's like, "Oh no, I'm falling."
Exactly. Yeah. My son does the same.
And I love that because he won't sit in front of the iPad playing video games or anything like that at 4. He will watch it for like maybe an hour or 2, and he'll get bored.
Oh, my daughter's on the iPad loads, and people get funny about that. But
no, it's the new norm. I think
it's the new book.
I don't mind,
mate. The things that my kids learn off of those devices. Like back in the day, you kids sat down with books, or they would go and climb a tree and dig holes. I get that. My kids still climb trees, they still dig holes, but when it's like time to sit down and read a book per se, they sit down with their iPad. My son will sit down with his game console, or my son will sit down and play on my PC. My son spent about 3 hours playing on my PC today, playing in that BeamNG game.
Yeah,
but BeamNG is like a real-time physics game, and he's learning physics. My son's sitting here learning how cars crash, how they crumple, the different crumple zones. He was putting tow hitches on cars to add weight so that he could see how it would crash. Like, he's learning shit that he wouldn't learn at school. At school, he's learning fucking I Spy. At home, he's learning physics on my PC. Mad. But people are like, oh, they shouldn't be sitting in front of a fucking screen. But they're not in front of a screen all the time.
Yeah. So when I grew up, I didn't... So... My dad thought I had something wrong with me. Like, I don't know what it was.
I think you've got something wrong with you.
Yeah, everyone does still today. But, like, I didn't speak until I was about 7 or 8 years old. Something like that. Like, I genuinely didn't say a word.
Is that why we can't shut you up now?
Yeah. I'm just getting those years.
Getting it all out.
But, yeah. No, but my mum and dad had 6 kids. So I was probably lost along the childhood days. So, and I didn't have to say anything because everything was done for me. Like, or said for me, shall I say.
Yeah.
And so I went to a special speech school. That's fucking hard to say.
That didn't work, did it? Fucking hell.
That didn't work. Yeah, exactly. So, and I still today I feel like my vocabulary is very limited, and I know that. I swear a lot, and I know I've got my ifs and buts, and I say like a lot, and I'm self-aware of that. I don't read a lot. I've read a few books, but it just doesn't interest me. But when I was younger, growing up, my words started going out from, funny enough, playing video games. So I played Final Fantasy VII. So obviously back then, you had to read all the subtitles to do missions or like the quests and all that malarkey. And that taught me better to read than an actual fucking book.
It's funny you say that. When we're watching TV, we have the subtitles on. And it's for the kids to learn to read it. We have the subtitles on their iPads. We have the subtitles on YouTube. We have the subtitles on everything. And the teacher actually said to us, talking about Tom, she was like, his reading is impeccable. Like, he's reading at the age of like 12, like double his age. Like, how is he reading so well? I'm like, he'll play on my PC and he'll read all the subtitles. He reads off of his Xbox and he reads off the TV. The boy doesn't stop reading. There's nothing he can't read. It's insane.
Yeah, that's class. I might start doing that, to be fair.
Honestly, really good move. Really good move. I went to speech therapy as a kid as well. Because I was in hospital for like the first 4 years of my life because I was really unwell with my heart. I was in the Royal Brompton in London. Literally didn't leave. My parents had to leave me at hospital overnight and then come back to me the next day type thing. I didn't leave till I was 4.
Yeah.
So because of that, I didn't speak. Same thing. So I had to go to speech therapy.
Yeah, I was the same.
Just so you know, we
still struggle now.
Well, yeah.
In some ways.
We've come up to the end of the session, bro.
Oh, have we? Fucking hell, it's gone quick. We had fun.
But I can continue talking to you, so we have to stop. So we've got something to talk about next time.
Yeah, mate, I ain't even gone through... You probably haven't even gone through half of the subjects that you wanted to go through. That means there's plenty more episodes to come.
Oh, exactly. You just got to keep saving it up, and we'll get through it as and when we can.
Oh, mate.
Is there a quick subject you want to talk about quick?
Oh, yeah. It was going back on the shower and bath shit. Like, I didn't get through the whole thing because we digressed onto something else. But
fuck.
Yeah, no. We could do, yeah. Like, when you're in the shower, because you're like me, we get a shower, do you sometimes just stand in the shower and just go into your own fucking world?
Yes.
Like, my missus goes, why are you in the shower so long? And I'm like, well, sometimes I have a wank, but other times sometimes I will go into my own little world, like in thought. Do you do the same?
I used to do it in the shower, but then I stopped. Because I have cold showers, so I would stand in it, and I would stand in it for as long as I could, and I would mentally make my mind go somewhere else, so I could stand in cold water because it's good for your heart. So I'd stand in the cold shower. Now I find I go into my own world when I'm in my woodworking shop. So when I'm working with wood, my mind will just disappear, and I can stand there and not actually have a tool in my hand and not be doing anything. But I will stand there, and I think the reason for that is the smell of the wood, because my dad was a carpenter. The smell of the wood and the atmosphere and being around all the tools reminds me of my old man, and I literally just disappear. And hours can disappear, and then I'll be like, oh shit, I need to be making something.
No, so just your kids walk in and your daddy's stood in the garage again for 10 minutes.
Daddy's just standing in the shower in the garage.
Yeah.
So no, I don't do it in the shower anymore.
No, I love it. Like I have cold showers too.
They're the best.
Sometimes, yeah, it wakes me up again. But recently I've been having hot showers. But it's the hot showers that get me in. Like I'm literally leant up against the wall. I'm balancing on one leg like a fucking yoga teacher, and I'm just like in a massive daydream, like a bit like what you do sometimes when you're driving. But yeah, that was just literally going off from that really. But it's not really, can't go into anything more.
No, because we're now at 1 hour and 10, and we said we would always keep it an hour. So we're going to say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Yeah. Goodbye, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you leave a fucking like.
Say goodbye to me, not them, moron.
Nah, you can fuck yourself. I'll speak to you next time.
Fuck you. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.